Hello fellow brick fanatics, DJ Bricks here, back for another video, and today I have a review for a 2023 LEGO Avatar The Way of Water set. It is Skimwing Adventure. Set number is 75576. It's recommended for building ages 8 and up. Comes with 259 pieces, and I paid $35 for it here in the United States. And without further ado, let's start deconstructing the set and see how it stacks up, starting as always with the minifigures. First up for minifigures, we're going to take a look at Jake Sully. Before we get into the actual minifigure, I gotta talk about some of the things LEGO brought out for this line to depict the Na'vi, and it's pretty standard across all of them. They did bring back the long arms and long legs from the Toy Story sets that used to be used to depict Woody and Jesse in that line. It's been about a decade since they used that, so this helps give the minifigures like a taller look compared to normal human sized minifigures. There is a tail here molded in the back. It's only facing one way compared to the other ones that LEGO does, so that's kind of stuck where it is. And then up at the top for the head, it is a brand new mold there, just depicting the shape of the Na'vi's head there with their ears, and much like the Trolls sets, the minifigure hair is a separate piece, as you can see, and just attaches there just to complete the look. And this hair piece is new. It's just different for the Way of Water, more thicker braids here. At the end of it, you do have the bar-sized pole there, just to connect the Na'vi to the animals and various fauna on Pandora there. This minifigure does come with a crossbow just as a weapon there. The head here is very nicely printed. It is exclusive to the set for his facial expression there. This whole minifigure is kind of exclusive for the Way of Water line, but his torso is also very nicely detailed with the pouches and the straps there. His knife sheath there on the front of the torso. The legs are very nicely printed, however they are reused from the original Avatar movie wave that came out last year. And removing that hair piece, once again, you can see no back head prints just due to the design of the head. But we get some nice back torso detail as well, with all the straps from the front carried over. And the only other minifigure included is Tonowari. He is the chief of the Water Na'vi. And for the Water Na'vi here, we get a lighter blue used here for their skin tones for the water. And this minifigure uses mostly the same parts, just in different colors, obviously. You have a nice brick-built spear that's double-sided. It does use that old Nexonites piece in trans blue at both tips. The face is very nicely done. It very nicely looks like the character in the movie there. And the torso and legs are also very nicely designed. There's a lot of nice silver sheen to the shoulder strap there, covering his chest, and the loincloth there as well. This minifigure is exclusive to this set, just based off those two prints alone. He does come with in another set with alternate prints. And flipping him around to the back here, you do have some nice back torso printing as well, just continuing all those tattoos. And looking at the set all built up, you do get the main creature here, the Skimwing, and you do get a little bit representing some of the coral seabed of Pandora there as display bases. So looking at the Skimwing's design here, it's very nicely done. You have a lot of sand blue used here, some of the lighter blue color, the baby blue. You have a nice part usage back here to create the shaping of the fin, the back fin there. The wings here are vinyl, and they're very sturdy, and they are very nicely printed with the design on the wings there. You have an exclusive molded head up here at the front, and that can open and close its jaw. The print here is not the greatest. That tan right there on the cheekbone here is supposed to be the same color as the tan of the underside, the underbelly here. So that's not the good to see. I really wish Lego would improve on their quality control here, but flipping this on the underside here, you can see the underbelly made up of a nice array of tan slopes and stuff. You do have Technic belts for the underside of the wings here. That doesn't bother me because at most angles you're not going to see it unless you have this in a weird pose. But the colors that the designer used just make correlate with the designs on the wings here, so they kind of blend in really well. So that is really good design choice there. And towards the top front by the head here, you do have these little fins here representing, I suppose, little fins there. You do have a couple of adjustable fins up here, and we're going to talk articulation for this thing for a little bit. The head here is on a ball joint there, and it's connected using one of those black pins there, so you can get a lot of turning of the head that way, and just overall really nice head movement there. You do have the fins down here, as I pointed out earlier. The ones up top can be moved as well. You can flap the wings, both sets of them, the front and back. The midsection abdomen area here is on a ratchet joint, so you can get this thing twisted into some nice snake-like poses. And then the back tail here is on a ball joint as well, so you can get some whipping motions there. And the backmost fin has a side-to-side ratchet. So a lot of nice articulation points on this thing, so you can get some really nice poses on it. And putting a minifigure on this is pretty simple. You just attach the bottom of the feet there, and it kind of just lays there. And you kind of have to pose your minifigure kind of correctly, otherwise the connector won't connect properly, and I'll just keep popping the hair off, or kind of like that. So you kind of have to be really finicky with this, like get it in the right pose and then just leave it there and hope it doesn't pop off. So that is kind of a downside there. And with that, you lose some of the articulation of the head there, just because you have to watch with these connecting antenna when it's connected to the minifigure there. So the side builds that you get in the set are two unconnected pieces representing the seabed of Pandora here. First one up, you do get a lot of just overall little pieces representing various bits of coral. You do have that Friends piece as well, using right there. You do have a stamp action pose piece there. That is just if you want to have a minifigure and pose them, and it kind of looks like they're swimming underwater. That's the whole point of that one, and I do really appreciate some of the colors and part usage just to create the coral here. What's even more interesting is this display stand for the Skimwing itself. You do have a lot more color usage, some rocks representing some gray pieces representing some rocks and stuff. You do have the fish that was introduced, I think, in a DC set somewhere with Aquaman returning in that spring green color there. So that's pretty nice. You do have some of the bullhorn pieces in purple for the first time, just creating some nice coral or sea life. And then you just have the part that connects to the Skimwing here and gives it a little nice sturdy display base. This thing looks pretty well on the display base here. It's nice and sturdy, so this thing isn't gonna top heavy this thing over. But I want to point out one little thing here. Of course, it's not gonna do it for me while it's on camera here. There we go. You can see if you don't remove it carefully enough, the 2x2 that attaches this thing to the display base, it wants to come out because it's not very well, it's not deep enough, so it doesn't really have that firm of a connection. So that is something to watch out for. But overall, this thing does look nice on its display base here. Looking at the extra pieces, a few standouts. You do get an extra one of each of the Na'vi tails. That wasn't included in the wave based off the first movie, so that's pretty interesting. You do get an extra one of that new color for the bullhorn in purple, an extra one of the Nexonite spear piece, and you do get an extra one of the action pose pieces if you want to use that for a more dynamic. So looking at the instructions, you do get one booklet here. You got the newer style with the render, the white background, the product logo up at the top there. Opening page, you do have that little blurb about paper bags replacing the plastic ones intermittently, and then how to use the building app if you don't want to use the physical instructions. So with the instructions inside, you do have this nice blue background sporting some of the life of Pandora there, and progress bar down there features Tonawari for some reason. And throughout this instruction manual, you do get various stills and concept art from the movie, which kind of just adds a little bit to the build experience here. So there's some more. These are actual stills. The first couple were concept art. And it does take 51 pages to build. Back of the instructions, you do have a cross-sell for both the first wave and the second wave for Way of Water here. Parts inventory, and then you got the win feedback thing on the back. You can look at the box. It's a typical $20 to $30 size. We have a nice product shot of the set in action with Lego-fied versions of Jake Sully and Neytiri in the corner, as well as some of the various foliage and coral around Pandora. The box features Tonawari sporting the actual size reference, and then back of the box just shows you all the various play features of the set. So again, my final thoughts for the set, build-wise, there were quite a few issues here, namely with the Skimwing build. You have They're very minor issues, but they're still issues with the whole plate wanting to detach when you want to remove it from the display stand there, and then the whole gimmick of attaching the cord to the Na'vi hair. If you don't do that right, you can pop the hair off the minifigure. So those are kind of nitpicky issues, but one of them's more stability and build issue, so I feel the need to bring it up. Minifigures, both are really stand out. Lego really went out of the went out of the way to make these figures as good as they can be. Both of them are exclusive to the set by virtue of variation with the torso prints, face prints, all that jazz. Quality, only real issue I had here was the tan print on the Skimwing's head. Apart from that, no other issues to speak of. And Lego is asking $35 for this in the United States, which is what I paid. This isn't worth $35 to me. I suppose with the new molds and the vinyl, Lego probably was trying to get some money back from this. But this feels more like a $30 set at most. So I would recommend waiting for a sale for this if you really want it. It is a really good get. All these Avatar sets so far are just mind-blowing in detail and part usage. So this is a worthy pickup. If your kid is interested in Avatar 2, this is also a good cheap set for them. Again, wait for a sale. It's the only one that carries Jake Sully, so wait for a sale if you really, really want it. So, all in all, 7 out of 10 for me. Let me know what you think about this set. Do a good job reviewing it. Let me know in the comments below. Share, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, ring that bell, all that jazz, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, stack on.